This is CBC Here and Now.
For the government to look at us now and say that, oh, you just fit under this category with no explanation or nothing, that's not good enough. We could end up losing our business from this now.
Movie theaters can't reopen even if they put protocols in place. How a town is coming together to support the classic theater in Grand Falls, Windsor.
If there's nothing online, I'm going to homeschool them because I need everybody to be safe.
And keeping kids out of classrooms. COVID has some parents rethinking school this September.
Soak up the heat while it lasts, because there's change on the way.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Peter Cowan. We start tonight in Central, where the owner of an independent cinema has collected hundreds of signatures. He's petitioning for lockdown exemptions. The Classic Theatre in Grand Falls, Windsor says it can take in more than 50 people safely and needs to in order to survive. Here Now's Garrett Berry has that story.
Our box office is closed for COVID. You follow your route in.
A lot of changes since last year.
And these were donated by the Rotary Club down below.
And an effort to impress the provincial government.
And everybody here is fully masked.
But his request for an exemption shot down. Now he says his business is on the edge.
We brought in the old movies. We're showing them here now. It's $5 a ticket. So at 50 people, it's not very hard to do the math. I'm making $250 on the door. I'm paying, royalties to the movie companies. Even though the movies are 30 plus years old, I still got to pay a royalty. So, I'm not making nothing on the door. I've got extra staff hired on to accommodate the customers that are here.
He believes this big space can be safely controlled.
So actually, this is over 6 feet. This is roughly about 7 feet.
He put together this video for customers and showed it to the Department of Health.
Physical distancing at all times.
But he didn't get what he wanted.
We're just trying to open the government's eyes, say, listen, if you got us under one umbrella, well, let's start categorizing each individual businesses. Let's start looking at the floor plans because there's not two corner stores, there's not two bars, there's not two cinemas. They got the same floor plan.
He started a petition and got 1,500 signatures. And the local MHA has gotten involved.
Myself and the Feeners went through this space. I told them exactly what government would be looking for.
He says it's a victim of a double standard.
So how you can jam 50% of people into a restaurant or bar, again, 100 people into something half the size of this movie theater and maintain safety and physical distancing when we can do it right here is beyond me. I couldn't be happier for the bars and restaurants. I want to make that quite clear, but we want the same opportunity.
The province has a different idea.
People who are watching a movie generally tend to go in together. They spend a period of time together in the same enclosed space. So that's a little bit different than people who are going to a restaurant who may overlap and may not spend a whole lot of time with each other. But certainly these are questions that we are looking at presently, and gathering size is something we're reevaluating as well.
So Feener is inviting health officials to his theater so they can see with their own eyes how he's hoping to have it run. Garrett Berry, CBC News, Grand Falls, Windsor.
More parents are considering homeschooling their children this September over concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic. And one homeschooling tutor says that's one way to provide students with more consistency, especially if there's a second wave. Here Now's Heather Gillis reports.
We named our school, it's the Kelly Brinston Academy for Higher Learning, just to make it fun for the kids.
Terry Kelly is homeschooling two of her children this September because she's concerned about them catching COVID-19.
I'm just concerned with keeping my kids safe and my whole family safe too, because I have people in my family that are at high risk if they do catch COVID, one of them being my youngest son, Xavier.
Kelly will be teaching grade 4 to her 9-year-old Gabrielle and grade 7 to her 11-year-old Jack, instead of sending them to Sprucewood Academy and Exploits Valley Intermediate in Grand Falls, Windsor.
I've always wanted to try it. Not long term so much, but we had a lot of fun in March. My kids responded really well to it.
Meanwhile, homeschool tutor Katie Harrison says she's seeing an increase in the number of parents who want to homeschool their children this September because of the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm seeing a lot of parents who are a little bit nervous about the fall.
Harrison says homeschooling will also offer consistency to students in the event of a second wave. She works with 2 families that homeschool their children, and she runs a workshop for parents like Terry Kelly to help them set up school at home.
And then we also look at the logistics of applying to homeschool, filling out the application, what to expect for the interview, and how to organize the provincial curriculum in a way that makes it easy for you to tick those boxes, and how to document for the reports.
She says through homeschooling, parents can tap into their children's interest, and she says they don't have to try to recreate the school environment at home.
Learning can happen anywhere, it can look like anything, and it doesn't need to be, 4 to 5 hours of direct instruction, of you sitting down with your child and trying to teach them things that maybe you don't know a lot about.
Terry Kelly says her kids are looking forward to being homeschooled, but says she won't do it forever.
I don't plan on homeschooling until they're graduated. It's just until things become a bit more safe.
Meanwhile, the Newfoundland and Labrador English School District says they're also seeing a significant increase in the number of inquiries they've received throughout the province, but they won't have final numbers until September. Heather Gillis, CBC News, St. John's.
The province's Chief Medical Officer of Health says there are problems with keeping kids out of class. Dr. Janice Fitzgerald says she's trying to balance the needs of students to be in the class versus the threat that comes from COVID-19.
Managing this pandemic has always been about weighing potential risks and harms against the benefits of our actions. And right now in our province, we must consider that the harms posed to children by an ongoing absence from school is outweighing the harms presented by COVID-19. In these unprecedented times, our school communities can provide a source of normalcy for our children and youth. And while there will be changes in the learning environments to ensure everyone's health and safety, what will be the same will be the familiar faces to greet them and supports to help them readjust to school settings.
The health minister says the school board has been working on a more detailed plan on reopening schools, and an announcement should be coming in the coming days. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald says the health department has not issued any recommendations yet about wearing masks in schools, but says there may be instances where some teachers will wear them.
For teachers who are going from one group of students to another. So if you have a situation where students may be in a cohort, if you have teachers who are going from one cohort to another, it's to protect the cohort so that the person is not, moving from, potentially spreading from one cohort to another. We've always said that masks are, the main function of a non-medical mask is to protect others.
A St. John's couple says they can't come home. Jean and Lloyd Brown have lived and worked in Newfoundland and Labrador for almost their whole life. Now they spend winters in Ontario to be closer to their son. Because Jean applied for an Ontario health card to be able to see her doctor for diabetes, she's no longer considered a permanent resident of this province. They can't return to their home in St. John's, and they don't think that's fair.
I mean, it was sort of surreal. It was sort of like being told you're not allowed to go home. Well, it was exactly being told that you weren't allowed to go home. We have a condo here. It's comfortable. I really like it. But all of our possessions, all of our books, all of our artwork, all of our memorabilia for the past 50 years is in the house in St. John's.
More of my conversation with Jean Brown is coming up a little bit later on Here and Now. Well, there has been a conviction in an animal abuse story we brought you last year. Carl Caravan has pleaded guilty to causing unnecessary suffering to an animal. Caravan was a dog breeder in Clark's Beach when RCMP raided his premises last year. Mountie seized 5 severely malnourished dogs. One of them was pregnant. A judge gave him a suspended sentence and banned him from owning any animals for 5 years. He also has to pay the local SPCA $7,000 to cover the cost of taking care of the abused animals last year. The SPCA fostered the animals and then found them new homes. Well, the health minister has sent out condolences today to a young family, or the family of a young girl who passed away. Olivia Reardon died earlier this week. She would have turned 11 at the end of the month. We've featured Olivia many times on Here and Now over the years. She had a rare disorder known as Pearson syndrome. She needed a blood transfusion every week. so she even had her birthday celebrated at the Canadian Blood Services. She also received a trip to Disney from the Children's Wish Foundation.
The passing of a lovely young lady, Olivia Reardon, a young lady with a very rare mitochondrial disease who was a student at Immaculate Conception School in Colliers. And I know the community are planning a celebration with COVID in mind to celebrate her life. And again, our condolences go out to her family and that community.
In terms of summer weather, it has been very hot across the province. We do have a number of heat warnings in place across the board for the west coast all the way through to the northeast. And with that, we are going to see the heat continue. And some tips to beat the heat, because a lot of us aren't used to this. It is key to stay hydrated. Wear a hat and some sunscreen if you can't be in the shade, but remember, shade is your best friend. It is so much cooler in the shade. And then the other thing to keep note is a lot of us don't have air conditioning across the province. So one way to keep your house cool is to keep the blinds and windows closed during the day, and that just keeps that blaring sun out of the house and keeps it a little bit cooler than it normally would. The other thing to watch out for is if you are out and about in this heat, you watch for symptoms of heat-related illness. So things like dizziness, nausea, rapid heartbeat, and rapid breathing, and extreme thirst. And if you do develop any of those symptoms, it's best to call 811.
Well, how are people managing with all this heat across the province? Here now's Meg Roberts has either the best job or the worst job today, I guess depending on your perspective. She's been looking at how people are staying cool. So, Meg, where have you managed to find a place tonight to keep your temperature down?
Well, I was thinking of bringing you guys down to the swimming pool around the corner, and then I thought maybe I'd go to the beach and dip my toes in. But then I saw a bunch of people walking around with ice cream, and look where I ended up. So I know there's probably a lot of people who've had it with the hot weather, but for the folks in the ice cream business, they certainly haven't.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, we got today especially, we got the breeze, and the pool's refreshing, and ice cream's always good, so it's fantastic.
That's just one of the hundreds of clients that come through the doors at the parlor across from Bannerman Park. In this hot weather, lots of people are trying to get their hands on a cool treat. The co-owner says it's been great for business, especially after closing earlier this year due to COVID.
We have been cleaned out, wiped out. This whole week it has been almost impossible to keep up with demand. We've certainly been doing somewhere in the region of 800 to 1,000 scoops every day since I can remember. Really, probably since the end of June.
That's Elizabeth Dick's restored Dickie D bike. She had to get it when she started her new ice cream business. She hand makes small batches of artisanal ice cream using products from the island, like bake apples. Dix, who started her business this summer, says she's been selling nonstop and believes the weather has something to do with it.
And I have people who said, I haven't had an ice cream in 10 years, and this summer I've eaten my weight in ice cream. So I think so. I think summertime in general is a great time to develop an ice cream business. But I think the thing this year is so hot that people are tired of drinks and they just want something. And if you can get a berry ice cream that's a bit tart and sweet at the same time, then I think you're doing really well. And I think that's what people are looking for.
Although these business owners are working overtime to fill the demand, they say it's not such a bad gig.
You don't get any sad people buying ice cream. Every child, every mum, dad, they're always smiling. Some of the best days I've seen hands and nose prints up against this glass, and it's a wonderful thing to sell.
So to be honest, Peter, I have consumed a lot of ice cream today doing this story, but with this hot weather, I don't think I plan on stopping. Back to you.
I hope you're bringing some back for us, Meg.
I will.
That's Here Now's Meg Roberts reporting live for us tonight. We've got one more report to bring you before the break from a reporter who's a little bit younger, and it's also tied to the summer and sunshine. This one comes to us from 8-year-old Kylie Johnson. Here she is reporting from the playground in Trinity Bay North.
On your street, ooh, 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 on your street, ooh, 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 on your street. Here with you from Trinity Bay North Playground. Since the COVID-19 started, the playground has been closed, but the community decided to reopen the playground because there's not many cases here. And the community wants you to remember that the playground is closing 3 to 4 for cleaning. And the community also wants you to remember to practice social distancing. This is Kylie Johnson reporting from Trinity Bay North. Back to you, CBC. On your street.
Thanks to 8-year-old Kylie for that report. And if you have a budding reporter who may have a story for us, head to cbc.ca/nl and click on the Community tab on the top of your screen. We want to hear from you. We'll have more stories for young and old alike coming up.
We're starting to see a little bit more unsettled weather over the next couple of days. There's going to be a big temperature drop as well, but things will think they'll rebound as we head towards next week. I'll have all those details and your full forecast coming up.
This weather update is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. This year, it's Stay Home Year, the year to rediscover home.
It's time to bring in Ashley now for a look at the weather. Ashley, I've been hearing from a lot of people who are not too happy with the heat. And whenever they complain, I say, well, do I have a job for you? Have a look at this. Because this was 7 months ago when the issue we were dealing with, giant snowbanks. So if cold is your thing, you're more than welcome to shovel it. For me personally, I'll take the heat any day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will take the heat any day, that's for sure.
So give us an idea. How long are we looking at for this heat wave that we're under right now?
Well, the heat warnings are still very much in place, and we are sticking with that heat today. Let's take a look at those temperatures across the board, around 27 degrees in some areas. Certainly here in the eastern areas, we're seeing those warm temperatures. 27 in St. John's, and then as you head towards the west coast, that's where we're seeing those 30-degree temperatures, and then another warm day through Nain, actually 9 degrees warmer than I thought it was going to be yesterday. So 29 degrees, it was your afternoon high. You're still sitting at 28, and a number of areas still sitting in those mid to high 20s. It's taking a little bit longer, or not reaching as high through parts of central, and that's because we've got some cloud cover that we're dealing with, but those humidex values are still in the mid to high 30s across most of the island, and even into the 30s up through Labrador. So that means that heat advisory is still in place. Gross Mourne, you've been dropped out of it, and we will start to see these heat warnings drop off over the next couple of days. But until then, the fire hazard map has changed a little bit. So we've got extreme risks now in some areas, high to extreme, and generally going to probably continue, although we are going to see some more rain over the next couple of days. And like I said, more cloud cover. So there's an area of some showers and thunderstorms that are affecting just along the Quebec border there. And eventually we're going to see some showers make their way across the northern peninsula, and then eventually the west coast. There is a risk we could see some thunderstorms with that, certainly in southeastern portions of Labrador, and then increasing cloud for pretty much the rest of the island, with the potential for some drizzle tonight. So not nearly as nice. Even though it was cloudy for most of last night, we should actually see a little bit more unsettled weather. However, those temperatures are going to stay mild, so it's going to be another uncomfortable sleeping night. But the good news is this should be the last night. You'll note those temperatures are dropping up through Labrador into the low teens, and that is just going to continue to track further south, and that's because we've got a series of cold fronts that are going to move through. So this first one will move through, bring the risk of some thunderstorms through the day, but in behind that we should actually see some clearing. Then there's another cold front that's going to sweep through Thursday night, and that's going to drop those temperatures pretty much across the board, certainly into Labrador first. Here are afternoon highs tomorrow for the island, so again another warm afternoon, 25 to 27 degrees, but notice that those temperatures have dropped quite a bit on the west coast from those 30-degree temperatures, and we're going to be sitting somewhere between 20 to 40 kilometer-per-hour winds, and there's that drop in temperatures I was talking about up through Labrador. So your afternoon morning highs really along the coast in 17, 20 degrees, and then you'll see your temperature drop pretty rapidly through the day as that cold front continues to sweep in. But in behind that, a ridge of high pressure is going to move in and clear things out for Labrador, but then staying unsettled, it looks like, at least through the first half of Saturday, until we start to see the ridge of high pressure dominate. Temperatures on Friday, more seasonal and a lot more comfortable, into the 20 to 22 degree range, but again with some unsettled conditions, and then plenty of sunshine up through Labrador with temperatures back to seasonal as well, even a little bit above 20 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay. And then into Saturday, there's your sunshine, return of those much warmer temperatures, going back up to 26 degrees for Happy Valley Goose Bay. And then temperatures will dip in the east, down about 18. This could fluctuate a couple of degrees, but somewhere around there. And then eventually we'll see the sun later on in the day. And then by Sunday, Monday, at this point, it's looking like the high pressure should dominate, with temperatures sitting around 19-20 degrees, and the overnight lows again a little bit more comfortable for sleeping, so we can air out the house, dipping into the single digits Friday and Saturday for central Newfoundland, so that will certainly help with that situation. Then back up into the 19-20 degree range, a little bit warmer for western areas, but at this point, like I said, plenty of sunshine. Heat will continue up through eastern portions of Labrador with a generally beautiful weekend, even into Monday. 24 to 26 degrees and a little bit more comfortable for western Labrador as your temperatures hover around 21 to 23 degrees through the weekend. I wanted to share this lovely shot. Ken Rose sent us this one, a foggy sunrise from Black Duck Pond. Thank you so much for sharing that photo in, and if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Who would have thought everyone would be so glad to see a bit of cool and fog? Thanks, Ashley.
No problem.
Oh my God, is that one? No, I think that's a plane. No, that's a shooting star! Oh my God, that is a shooting star, you guys! Are you seeing this? You're missing this.
Well, that's someone getting very excited about the annual Perseid meteor shower, putting on a show over Prince Edward Island last night. This was the view that people got. CBC viewers from across PEI captured some of the show in these videos. During the peak of the meteor shower, there are often between 50 and 100 fireballs per hour streaking across the sky. Well, a bright fireball in the sky across St. John's right now. It's another hot, beautiful night. And just a reminder, Here and Now is going to be half an hour this Friday, starting a little later, 7 p.m., 6:30 in most of Labrador. So get your birthdays and anniversary greetings in early. We're doing them on Thursday this week. Welcome back to Here and Now. Jean and Lloyd Brown were born and raised and spent most of their lives here in St. John's, but they're not allowed into the province. They bought a condo near Ottawa in order to be closer to their son during the winter, and the plan was to spend summers and falls at their house in St. John's. But because they got Ontario health cards, they're now no longer considered Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, and this is the only province that isn't allowing seasonal residents in. I spoke with Jean Brown about why she thinks that's unfair.
We decided we would come to Ottawa for the winter months. We had tried Florida. It wasn't for us. We went there 3 years in a row, and then we decided instead of going to Florida, we'd come to Ottawa. And if either one of us got sick or needed help in any way, our son was here to give us that support.
And I guess the big issue is you now have Ontario health cards in order to be able to get care when you're in there during the winter. And that means you had to give up your MCP card, which would normally be needed in order to prove that you actually live in St. John's.
That's right. That was a big surprise for us. I guess we didn't check it out carefully enough. After being in Florida for 3 winters, we sort of thought, well, we're just staying in Canada, so we didn't think there'd be any problems with things like health insurance. But what I soon discovered was that you couldn't get a health card unless you were a permanent resident of Ontario. So that meant that we had to become a permanent resident of Ontario. We're both quite healthy, but I'm a type 2 diabetes, and so I needed prescriptions renewed, I needed my blood checked on a regular basis. So even though we were splitting our time between St. John's and Ottawa, we really needed a family doctor here in Ottawa.
So what was your reaction when you were told that you wouldn't be allowed to come to Newfoundland and Labrador this summer?
Well, in my wildest imaginations, I never dreamt it could possibly happen. I mean, it was sort of surreal. It was sort of like being told you're not allowed to go home. Well, it was exactly being told that you weren't allowed to go home. We have a condo here. It's comfortable. I really like it. But all of our possessions, all of our books, all of our artwork, all of our memorabilia for the past 50 years is in the house in St. John's. We didn't move any of that here because we just thought we would be here sort of for the winter and until the spring finally arrived in St. John's.
What's your reaction to the fact that you're essentially considered too high of a risk because you're coming from an area outside of the Atlantic bubble to be allowed into Newfoundland and Labrador?
Well, my husband and I, both of us, are very conscious about being a high-risk category, in that if you're over 60, and then I do have type 2 diabetes, that you're high risk. And so we're very careful. I mean, we're social isolating. We don't go anywhere. We live very quietly. We have no problems whatever going back to St. John's and self-isolating. We have an empty house, just a house sitter there looking out to things for us. We have a car by the door. When after 2 weeks, we'll be able to use it. We have friends. We have some family who would be only too happy to stock our fridge for us. So it's no problem for us to self-isolate. So we want to be back there, and Orleans, where we live, we're in the suburbs. We don't see anybody. We live very quiet lives. I have never been in contact with anybody that I'm aware of who got COVID. I don't know anybody who's had COVID. So I feel very comfortable about going back and very comfortable about self-quarantining for 14 days if that's what the government wants me to do.
What do you think the government should do here?
I would like them to consider doing what PEI did. PEI on June 15th told people who own properties, residences in PEI, that they could come back home and all they had to do was show evidence that they owned property. I understand New Brunswick has done the same thing. I just would like that same model to work. And so when I heard Dr. Hagee say, when you interviewed him a couple nights ago, that they would have to talk to the other provinces in the Atlantic bubble, I said, talk to them, and that might mean that somebody like me will be able to come back and live in my house.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your situation and talking to me today.
Oh, thank you so much for contacting me, and I hope the right people are listening, and I hope we're we're Newfoundlanders from the get-go. I was born in central Newfoundland. My husband was born in Fogwallin. All of our working life has been in St. John's. We both taught there. You know, we're willing to pay by the rules, but St. John's is our home, and we'd like to be there.
So why is the government continuing to deny entry to summer residents, even if they have self-isolation plans? And how are those residents any different than the others who've been given exemptions to come here? Well, I asked Dr. Janice Fitzgerald about that at today's COVID-19 briefing.
So we know that our risk is with importation, and we know that people can be infected and not have symptoms. And we know that people are not always, 100% strict with their self-isolation. So we do certainly, in other areas, have experienced outbreaks as a result of that sort of thing. So, we are making decisions based on the epidemiology elsewhere, as well as our epidemiology, and then also our public health and health system capacity.
What sort of numbers do we have on how many people are breaking their quarantine?
Well, that's a very difficult number to get, right? Because we often don't know about it. But with quarantine, we are relying on people to be honest about it if they are or aren't. Even when we have our follow-up, it's still a phone call. So, but there are studies that have shown there are significant percentages of people who don't follow through with all aspects of their quarantine. Now, that's not to say that everybody is just saying, I'm going out, it doesn't matter. But, quarantine is fairly strict, so there are significant numbers of people who aren't adhering to all of the guidelines of quarantine. I can't speak specifically to what the percentages are, but they are significant.
Well, we want to go back to someone that you met a little earlier in the show. During Meg Roberts' report, Elizabeth Dix was inspired to create Cove Creamery during this pandemic. It's an ice cream business. The retired epidemiologist says she literally has it down to a science. She even went to Penn State University in Pennsylvania, at least virtually, to get it down pat. Have a look.
I think I had a bit of a midlife crisis after I retired from my job at the university, and I've always loved ice cream. I eat ice cream in January when most people are looking for hot chocolate. I'm looking for an ice cream. So I just decided that if I was going to, and I was always making it for my family, but it wasn't anything serious. So I saw this ad for a course online at Penn State University, and I thought, I'm going to do that. And I said, if all the stars align and I can get there without too much trouble, then I'm going to do this course. And all the stars aligned. I got accepted into the program. They usually have a 2.5 to 3 year wait list. They had an opening. They accepted me. I got a quick flight and off I went. And I had the best week of my life learning how to make ice cream. So then I decided to just come home. I really never had an intention that I was going to start an ice cream business. So I was making it for family and friends and colleagues, and I would just come up, and I love developing new recipes. So then, of course, I would test them, and I would bring them to everybody and think, what do you think of this one, and what do you think of that one? So it just turned into it that people started to ask me, would I sell them ice cream? I didn't know what to charge. I didn't even know how to go about it. So that's how this started.
Why is your ice cream maybe a little bit different from others?
I think the thing is that I look at it from a molecular level, so I know exactly what process to put in place to stop some of the negative things that happen within ice cream making, and also the fact that I don't use any preservatives. When I can, I use fresh berries. This time of year, my partridge berries have been frozen because I've gotten them from people, but now as the new partridge berries come out, I'll be able to make fresh partridge berry ice cream and fresh blueberry. I think that's a big thing. I'm always trying to use Newfoundland product, and I'm also trying to do local. So that's a big thing for me. So yes, I do vanilla, yes, I do caramel and chocolate, but my big passion is the Newfoundland berry. The nicest thing somebody said to me was a gentleman who was in his 70s, and his favorite was vanilla, and I just did him some ice cream as a favor, and he told me that it was the best ice cream he'd ever eaten in his life, and he had eaten his life's worth of ice cream. So that probably was the nicest thing anybody has said. And the other really nice thing is that people keep coming back. So that's just a bit of a validation to me that yes, it's a good product, and you know, the effort that I'm putting into it, that people really enjoy. So that's just the bottom line.
Unsettling and resettling. This next story has a bit of both. It's the latest in our Food and Fun series, although this one is more fun than food. This week, Andy Bullman and videographer Mark Cumby explore the ghostly history of Julie's Harbour. And a reminder, this was filmed before COVID, so there's no distancing.
We're usually on the road, but today we're on the water. We're heading to Julie's Harbour. I'm here with Skipper Mike of Badger Bay Tours. We're gonna have a quick bite, a cup of tea, and then we're gonna go check out a haunted cemetery in Julie's Harbour.
Well, this cemetery, this is the only thing left of the community now. Everything else has gone into the ground, the foundations of the house, the church itself, right? The only thing left standing now is these headstones.
I've never heard of Julie's Harbour. Tell me about the town.
Well, the town has been there for, you look at the gravestone markers, it's been the 1800s, right? And it's been there since the fishermen came from England, right?
And was it always called Julie's Harbour?
No, actually, it was called St. Augustine back in the day. It changed from St. Augustine to Julie's Harbour because Julie was an unwed mother back in the day, a teenager, and she got pregnant and she was into Julie's Harbour Pond, it's called today. And she drowned in water up to her knees, and as the story goes, it could have been suicide, and they changed it from St. Augustine back to Julie's Harbour, what it is today.
So you definitely think it's haunted out here?
Oh, definitely. Just the sounds, the creaky noises, when the winds rustle the trees, and, right?
You can feel the ghost.
Yeah, there's a hairy feeling, like, right? Julie as a spirit still around. The last house that was located in Julie's Harbour, the Pools owned the house, famous name from Pulleys on the Pools. And they were having a card game one night and drinking and smoking, and all of a sudden they heard a rustle, and they seen an image come through the walls of the house. They got up like that day. They never came back to Julie's Harbour, right? So they got their house and they floated it out to Triton, and it's in Triton today. Well, I always found that when you listen, it's dead silent, right? Just listen again, no?
I had some weird noise. I'm not joking. I had a weird noise on the mic.
Holy
Where should Andy go for food and fun? Send her a message. foodandfun@cbc.ca.
We'll call it a creepy coincidence. Wade Colburn happened to send in this photo of Julie's Harbour today. I don't see any ghosts there on his watch. Stay tuned, we've got national and international news coming up. There's been an accident on Canada's busiest highway. It happened during the morning rush hour on the 401 in Toronto. A tire flew off a flatbed trailer, crossed the median, and smashed through the front windshield of a minivan that was headed in the opposite direction. The 24-year-old driver of the minivan was killed. A police officer at the scene took to Twitter a short time later to warn commercial drivers how a loose tire can turn deadly.
And you can see that we're missing wheel studs here, and we're missing a bearing cap, just a bearing cap off of that. Should look like that, the bearing cap. But this really highlights the importance of doing those pre-trip inspections, and the driver's responsible to do that sort of thing once in every 24-hour period.
To Scotland now, where a train derailment has killed 3 people and injured 6 others. The passenger train came off the tracks about 150 kilometres northeast of Edinburgh. Cindy Palm has the details.
Thick smoke billows from the scene where the passenger train derailed near the town of Stonehaven on Scotland's northeast coast. Dozens of police cars and ambulances arrived at the scene just before 10 a.m. local time.
This is a tragic incident, and first and foremost, our thoughts are with the families and friends of those who have very sadly died this morning.
The transport union says the train was scheduled to arrive 3 hours earlier, which means a possible delay between the time the train derailed and when emergency services were called. Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon called it an extremely serious incident.
This is devastating news. This has been a really tragic incident, and my condolences are with the loved ones of the 3 people who have lost their lives, and that includes the driver of the train.
One of the reasons that this accident is so shocking is, of course, that it is this type of accident on the railways is thankfully so rare. But our thoughts are very much with those who've lost their lives, their families, and of course those who've been injured.
It's unclear what caused the derailment, but rain has flooded the area in the last few days. Meteorologists say there's been a month's worth of rain in the last 24 hours. Cindy Palm, CBC News, London.
Well, high atop the Kashmir Valley, nearly 10,000 feet above sea level, an all-women rifle unit of the Indian Army patrols a remote mountain pass. Their mission, to crack down on what's become a popular way to transport illegal drugs and weapons.
से हम लोग उनको लेडीज और बच्चों को चेक करते हैं जिससे उनकी स्मगलिंग यहाँ से स्मगलिंग ना हो.
We check for smuggling by women and children traveling through the region, she says. Her unit conducts security checks of vehicles and travelers suspected of bringing in contraband weapons and drugs from Pakistan. Pakistan denies India's accusations. It's training and funding militant activity outside its borders. There are nearly 10,000 women in India's armed forces. To the United States now. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris made their first public appearance together this afternoon, kicking off their already historic run for the White House.
It's a great day for our campaign. It's a great day for America, in my view.
Biden formally introduced Harris at his Democratic running mate's home state of Delaware. Harris is the first VP candidate to be a woman of color. Her father, originally from Jamaica, her late mother from India. The U.S. Senator and former Attorney General from California is already breathing new life and new money into the Democratic campaign. More than $10 million was donated within hours of Biden asking her to be on his ticket yesterday. The two are expected to raise even more money through a virtual fundraiser tonight. And in Canadian politics now, Andrew Scheer has likely asked his last question in Parliament as Leader of the Opposition. The next time Parliament is scheduled to sit, Conservatives should have picked a new leader. Scheer's final question was a challenge to the Prime Minister to sue him for the times he's accused Trudeau of corruption.
After next week, my calendar is wide open. Could the Prime Minister please tell me when I could expect to see him in court?
Conservatives have until the end of next week to vote for their new leader.
Congratulations to Twillingate, Newfoundland for being one of the 4 communities hoping to be crowned this year's Craft Hockeyville. I have a soft spot for Twillingate. My mom and dad are from there. I ran a Gary Roberts hockey school out of the George Hawkins Arena. I know that arena is a focal point for the community and how important it is to our youth in Twillingate. Everybody, please vote for Twillingate.
Love it or hate it, Ashley, how long is this heat going to last?
Well, we've got one more day of this warm temperatures, certainly in the east and through central through the day tomorrow, but we are going to start to see these heat warnings drop off, and that's because we've got a couple of cold fronts that are going to move through. One will sweep through tomorrow, bring the risk of some thunderstorms, and then tomorrow night another one will move through, and that's when we're going to see that wind shift and those temperatures drop to more comfortable through the day into the 20s as we head into Friday, and overnight lows are dipping into those single digits. So certainly a big change from what we've been seeing for the past couple of days.
Thanks, Ashley. Before we leave you tonight, want to dip back into politics. There was talk on Parliament Hill today of triggering an election. It came from the leader of the Bloc Québécois and an MP running for the Conservative Party leadership. Evan Dyer looks at the possibility of bringing down the government.
Today, the Bloc's leader said he's ready to bring down the hammer on the Trudeau government unless the Prime Minister, his Chief of Staff and his Finance Minister all leave their posts.
We are getting to the point where The question becomes, which is worse? Keeping them and this government in place, or creating a temporary distortion in the management of the crisis in going into an election?
Conservative leadership candidate Erin O'Toole was musing today about the same thing.
I think this is a tired and scandal-plagued, ethically challenged government that soon needs to be put out of its misery.
Can somebody on the side tell us why the Prime Minister thinks the rules do not apply to him?
But for all the talk of bringing down the government, can the opposition really do it? And do they really want to?
Well, if every party voted the same way, all of the opposition parties would need to vote against the government to bring them down.
What the government is proposing.
But the opposition parties today hardly looked ready to work together.
We did not have formal discussions with any other opposition party. As you know, we have as little discussions as possible with the NDP, which doesn't seem to be very worthy of it.
And as the Bloc disparaged the NDP, the Conservatives bashed the Bloc.
In fact, we're going to be leading the process because the Bloc Québécois can never form national government. They've backed the government at times when they should not have.
The Trudeau government has lost some of the support it picked up during the pandemic, but polls suggest that if last October's election were replayed today, the Conservative Party might likely emerge with fewer seats than it holds now. Only the Bloc may have a real motive to want a new election, and the Bloc alone can't make that happen. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Chelsea, Quebec.
Well, even before the pandemic, a Tokyo entertainment company was offering virtual travel packages for people with tight budgets and no real vacation time. Now, with COVID-19 restrictions making the real thing unrealistic, the company's simulation business is taking off. The experience starts with a make-believe first-class flight in a mock jetliner to the destination of your choice. Hawaii, Paris, and New York are popular, along with Rome. The trip comes with a first-class meal and virtual reality goggles that bring you right into the heart of your dream vacation destination. The entire trip takes about 2 hours and costs about $100. I'm not sure that it was ever the trip that was the airplane and everything that was actually the main attraction to traveling. I think it was usually the destination, but who knows? Maybe we can get some Newfoundland and Labrador scenes so that people in Asia can enjoy it as well. That's it for Here Now. I'm Peter Cowan. Thanks for watching.